Hey everybody, it's Joel Woodard, your teacher here with you again for a 3-point perspective demo. I think I covered it pretty well in class. I know some of you still had trouble with it last we met. So I'll go ahead and do another one right now. It's Tuesday morning. I'm going to get this posted ASAP. I know we meet in a couple of days. Hopefully this will be enough time for you to check it out and to apply the information if you're having trouble. I haven't heard from anybody. I haven't gotten any emails, so I'm assuming everybody's doing okay with this. Okay, so I'm starting off with a blank sheet right here. I've got my t-square that I'm going to use. Remember, we want to get that perfect 90-degree angle, and a t-square is the way to go about doing it. I've got my sharp pencils here ready to go. I got an eraser, got a pencil sharpener if I need it. So let's go ahead and get into this. I'm just organizing my cord here. Okay. And I did one of these demos last night out here in my garage studio. And having it on my easel, it's a little clunky. So, you know, I'm going to try and make it work as best I can. And let me play with the light a little bit before I start, because you can't see the line that I just drew. And I can barely see it there either. Well, I'm just going to try and work with it as best I can, and you can at least hear me talk. So, to make your guys' lives easier, what you want to do when you start off, when you're establishing your vanishing points, try and establish them as far apart as possible. I'm going to do that, and so everything within this space is going to be where your drawing is going to be. Okay. Now, for our third vanishing point, it could be directly in the middle of these 2 points here, kind of forming a triangle. You can also skew it to the left or right to make it a little more interesting. But I think for our intents and purposes here, I'm going to just put it right in the middle just to make it easy for everybody, since everybody is just beginning at this. I know some of you have had prior perspective experience, which is great. But for everybody else, I'm going to try and make it as easy as possible. Now, again, my easel is a little shaky here. Those desks in the classroom, those really are ideal for perspective drawing. Probably the one time I'm going to say those desks are ideal for anything. Okay. Starting with a line, I'm just going to create where I want one of the objects to end. Okay. Man, you can barely see it. Well, I'm going to post this image along with the discussion in the discussion post, along with the video. So hopefully you can kind of glean what I'm saying from all of this. So right here, as they intersect, and tell you what else I'm going to do. I'm going to take pictures of these as I go along. God, is that going to work? I don't know if that's going to work. I'm just going to carry on with this, guys. So I'm not going to do anything really different than what I did in class already. Okay, so hopefully you all are doing good with this. Okay, so third vanishing point, right at the intersection, that is where this point is going to vanish with, that third vanishing point. Now, let's just decide where we want our box to stop. Where do we want the back of it or front of it, depending on where you're standing, what your vantage point is. Okay, I'm going to decide it's right there. Over here, I'm going to create another one. I'm going to make it a little bit longer this way than it is going that way. Ugh, my ruler just moved on me, which is a problem when your easel's a little rickety. Okay, that's better. I talked to some of you about precision with this stuff. It is very, very important. A dull pencil, thickness of a pencil, that could totally throw you off. Okay, now where I established those 2 points, where they intersect with our 2 vanishing point on the horizon line, those points are going to vanish at our third vanishing point. Okay, so that's that. So far, so good. Now I'm going to establish the top of this. Oh, one more thing. This back corner here, that also vanishes to the third vanishing point. There we go. Okay, so all 4 corners are vanishing to all 3 of these vanishing points. Okay, they're all converging at those vanishing points. Now, let's decide how tall this rectangle is going to be. You can see it a tiny bit. Let me play around with the light again one more time. Oh, everything's darker. Anyway, I'm sorry about this. I'm gonna post images, so it'll be all right. Now I'm gonna decide how tall this thing is gonna be. So if our rectangular cubical shape, if the top of it is below the horizon line, then we're gonna see the top of it. If it's above the horizon line, we're not going to see the top of it. We're just going to see that top edge, and then the top of it is going to slope down and converge with these vanishing points. We won't see what the top of it is. So for right now, I'm going to decide that the top of it is below the horizon line. Okay, this point right here, that's where I'm deciding how tall it is. Okay. Holding my ruler firmly against the easel. I just drew a light line there. Now that intersection is going to converge with our second vanishing point. Okay, right there. Now, actually what I should have done, this first line that I drew, that is carrying on to the other side of the object, that front corner that's closest to us, and where that intersects with our already established line, that is going to intersect with our second vanishing point. Okay, there it is. Now we've created two other points back here. Both of these points will represent the back face of that rectangle. Now, if I've done my job right, those 2 points should line up very nicely with our vanishing point here on the left side. Not too bad. Right on the money. Okay, so now we have this rectangular object. So now I'm taking my 6B pencil, and just like I did in class, I'm sketching out the surface that we can see. Sketching out the surface that we can see. Okay, you can see that a little bit in the video, so that's great. So the interior surfaces, the surfaces that we can't see, we would be able to see it if we had X-ray vision, but what I'm going to do for those, I'm going to create these little dots here on the line. Marching ants, you could say, okay? Because as you all know, it's very easy to get confused by all these converging lines, all these perspective lines. They can mess you up. So you need something to define your objects, okay? Okay, so that's pretty much it. All right, so now we've got this surface established, okay? Maybe I want an object to be over here somewhere, okay? So let's take our ruler, and it gets really tricky because that can get in your way. And for me right now, the lip of this little shelf on my easel, that is getting in the way. But I'm putting it over that. I'm still able to get a very flat line on my page. So it's not too much of a problem. Okay, so there's that line there. Here is what's going to be the front corner. That is going to vanish with our second vanishing point over here. Okay, there we go. Intersection right here. It's going to be very skewed, but it's going to work. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to decide the other side of this object. It's going to be right there. I don't want it to share the same perspective line as the other object. It could. You know, that happens in life. We know that buildings are butted up next to each other on a city block, but I'm not going to do that just for this drawing. Okay, here is our other intersection that is going to converge at the third vanishing point. Okay, our other vanishing point right here. Holding my pencil in place, adjusting the ruler. There we go. And then here is this intersection. The intersection that creates the bottom of the object, the foundation of the object. This was an architecture class, that would be part of our vocabulary. Okay, there it is. We've got the bottom of an object right here. Can't see it that well, but it's there. So let's decide that the top of this is above the horizon line. Okay, last object we did was below. This one will be above. I'm going to decide that it stops right there. Okay, vanishing to that. Excuse me. Okay, vanishing to that. Now, at this point, again, I made this tiny mistake for the other drawing. This needs to continue to where it intersects with this front corner here, because that is going to give us the side of the object. So let's link those 2 points. Oh, ruler just moved on me. I think it's okay, but there we go. Okay, so now going back, sometimes what I have to do, I literally have to kind of trace these 4 points here and follow the lines to where they intersect. So now here is this back corner going all the way up, seeing where it intersects right there. So this point right here, it's vanishing to 2 points already. So now all we need to do is vanish it to the point that it's not vanishing to. If you think of it that way, that could be easy to remember. Okay, there we go. So far so good. Let's tracing this out. Okay, going up here. That's going there. It's going there. So I know there's, boy, where is it? See, even sometimes I get lost doing this. This can be, it's easy to confuse yourself. So what I'm going to do, I'm jumping the gun a little bit, but I'm going to sketch out what we can see, okay? It's a lot of converging lines up in here, and it's throwing me off. I need some solidity first before I can figure out the rest of it. Okay, there's that. There's this. There's that. These are marching ants for the interior that we cannot see. Okay, now this is going to be going that way. Maybe I have it already. I think I actually have it. I think this point already converged. It was just hard to see. Yeah, I think that's good. The three perspective lines converged here. It was off a teeny tiny bit. I think that's what was throwing me. But again, thickness of the pencil, that can throw you off. All right. So yeah, you can see that. Okay, let's I want to check the time here. Okay. I want to put an object back behind these things. Okay, maybe in this space back in here. Let's figure out how to do that. All right, sharpening my pencil again. Okay. All right. Now, let's see. Why don't I take some existing perspective lines here, just so that you know how to do that. I mean, it's not that hard to figure out, but let's just let's do it for fun. Okay. Right here, this one line is sharing the same line that the back of this object is resting on. Okay, so created one point here. It's already vanishing to that point, so now it's going to vanish back over here. Okay, it's vanishing to 2. Now we got to get it to vanish to 3. There we go. Okay, so deciding how far back it goes, let's say right here, kind of in the middle of these perspective lines. Okay, that's going to be one side of it. Now, this is going to be the other side of this is going to be behind this object, which won't be a problem at all. Right, pencil is resting at the vanishing point, making sure it lines up here. There we go. Okay. Now, let's see. This needs to vanish over here. Space is starting to compress because this object is closer and closer to the vanishing line. Not vanishing line, closer and closer to the horizon line. As the closer it gets, the smaller the space is for the bottom of your object. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind. Okay, that's going there. Now, where is our fourth intersection? Looks like it is right about here, almost sharing the same perspective line as this front corner. And as some of you have discovered, when those points share the same perspective line, it can be maddening. Okay, so there's that. Now, since this object is going to be so close to the horizon line, the top of the object I'm going to place above the horizon line. Right, lining that up, holding my ruler in place. There we go. The point I just drew is vanishing to 2 points. Now here comes the third. There we go. Okay, now it's getting pretty confusing. So I'm going to go ahead and sketch out the bottom of it here. Okay, I know where the bottom is. I know where this side is. So that's where I'm going to stop. And I know, well, take that back. I know where the other side is as well. Okay. It intersects this other object that I just drew. So I'm going to do marching ants with that as well, because it's a surface that we can't see. It's a surface that we wouldn't be able to see if these were objects in actual life. Okay. Okay, now this point here, intersecting here, it's vanishing to the top and to the left. Now it needs to vanish to the right. Ugh, just went over my finger. Okay, now, do I have everything? Let's see. Okay, I know what to do. Now, corner to corner. Did this a little backwards. I constructed the back of the object first. So kind of threw me a little bit. Okay, I didn't have the intersection for that front corner. Now I have that. Now that can vanish to the left. Okay, now I've found our final point here. I believe it to be our final point. That should line up with what I've got behind it already. Looks like it's going to. Okay, I think I've got it. All right, here we go with our 6B pencil, sketching the surface that we can see, stopping at that intersection, marching ants. If this object was not in the way, I'd be drawing this solidly. Okay. There it is. Okay, so now we've got an object that's back behind this, okay? What else can we do? What if we wanted to construct a cube that's resting on top of this? How would we do that? Let's figure it out. Now, if we really wanted to get complicated, we could figure out how an object that is just kind of turned askew would work here. That would probably give us multiple vanishing points on the horizon line. But let's just deal with the three that we've got, okay? Everything's going to be nicely even and placed, okay? So I'm going to decide that a cube on top of this is going to be that thick. So using our established vanishing point, there we go. I'm going to decide that, let's see, the end of it is right here in an area where existing perspective lines are not converging. Because, again, it can get confusing very, very fast. Okay, there is that. 1 point converging to 2 vanishing points. Here comes the third. There we go. All right. And there's that. There we go. Front of our object. Now, maybe this is a box or a cube that's hanging over the existing cube. Let's try and make that work. So that would mean the back of it is going to be somewhere back here. Okay. So 1 point, 2 points. Here comes the third point. Right there. Okay, and here is where those lines intersect. That convergence right there, going to 2 points already. Just need to vanish it to the third. There we go. Okay, let's make it below the horizon line still. Now, a lot of stuff going on here. So I'm going to take my 6B. I'm going to sketch out what we already know. We know where the bottom of this is. There's the bottom, okay? And we know what we're not going to be able to see. We know what the interior is going to be. So I am marching these ants, marching these dots back to the corner and over to the other corner. Okay, so this is going up. Here's our horizon line. Everything is starting to look the same. Okay, there we go. That's going to be the top. Okay. One, two, and 3. There we go. Okay. Now we know what the front corner looks like. Shading that in. And let's see, where here is establishing our back corner. Just needs to converge over here. There we go. Okay. Now, boy, really tight here. Okay. Let's get my 6B out. Establish the side of this. Okay. Know the side of it. There we go. Okay. It's going to the right. No, left, I should say. It's going to the top. Now, it just needs to go to the right. Okay. There we go. All right, now I think I did my job pretty well. I think all of these lines converge right here. I didn't even have to line it up. Marching ants going up. And that's it. It's kind of a, I can't really see it there. I'm gonna post an image of this. It's kind of like a long boot box or a rose box kind of hanging off the edge of this other box here. Okay. Let's see. Maybe I can do one more. Let's do one more before I sign off here, because I think all of you are starting to get this. You know, there really isn't much more I can say about 3-point perspective. Let's see. Let's do an object back here. Let's see if we can do an object that's even closer to the horizon line, making our lives difficult. All right, let's see if we can share some existing perspective lines again. Okay, the back top surface of the image that we just drew, I think that is going to be where the start of this object is going to be. So, boy, there's all these convergences here, so it's going to be tough, but I'm going to try it. Don't let anyone say I couldn't do something because it was too hard. Okay, vanishing to our top point. Okay, there we go. Now, deciding where the back is. Right there. Okay. Resting my pencil there, lining it up with our top point. Okay. This is going to vanish to the left. Still needs to do that. Okay. All right. Wow. Oh, boy. Sure is tough. Wow. Gotta have some sharp eyes here. Oh boy, what have I done? Okay, gotta establish these corners first. All right. Gonna go up. Gonna go up, go up, go up, go up. It's gonna stop right there. Okay. Now this front corner converged somewhere back here. There's a bunch of other lines converging. Wow. No wonder we have computers that do this. Thinking right there. And to be totally honest with you guys, I think I might just be guessing. Having to finish this as I go. I'm giving it the marching ants right here. Wow. All right. That one little point, it's almost sharing another perspective line here, but it's not. Very, very close. Okay. So I established this point here. All right. Deciding it's going to be that tall. Now, I'm going to have to use the bottom edge of the ruler because the top edge is bumping into the clips of my board. Okay, there's that. Here comes the third vanishing point right here. All right. Okay, now 1, 2, and 3. All right. Now I've got that front face. Front face. Okay. Now let's see. Where is that third? Did I get them all? This is coming down here. This right here is coming down to this. So this still needs to vanish to our point at the right. Oh, God. Holding the ruler firmly in place. Okay. I think that was it. I think I got it. All right, here we go. Sketching this out, going all the way up. There we are. Okay. Back corner. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. It's a little off, but I think we can fake it a teeny bit. Couldn't fake it if we were architects. Okay, I think that's it. Got our fifth box here. That was really tough. So again, as you start your object, as your object rests closer to the horizon line, that space just starts to compress, and all of those perspective lines start to converge, and gets confusing. Again, gets confusing very, very fast. Okay. So I think that's it. I think I'm going to leave it here. If all of you submit a drawing like this, I would give you full credit for it. Just something that shows me that you understand 3-point perspective, and something that's a little imaginative, a little challenging. We put this box on top of this box here. It's not the most challenging perspective drawing I've ever done. If you look on the assignment page, that drawing there, I did that last semester. That's There's more going on in that drawing than there is here, but for our intents and purposes, I think this is going to be good enough. Okay. All right, guys, I'm going to get this posted ASAP, and I'll post the drawing along with it. Hopefully, when you see the good image of a drawing, it'll help you guys out. Okay. And if you have any questions or concerns, anything you need me to clarify, please just email me. All right. Hope you guys have a good day, and I will see you Thursday morning. Bye.